All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is Adam Baker here at the National Weather Service in Peachtree City. Thanks for attending our weekly weather briefing. So the highlights for this next week, we basically have a dry and warming period from today into Saturday. And then the next rain chances are going to return with the system mainly late Saturday night through the day Sunday. We could see some stronger storms mixed with the showers in the northwest part of the state for Saturday night. And then Sunday, the front's going to be pushing across the rest of the area, so we could have some increased energy to the south and east. So again, we can't rule out stronger or possibly severe storms with this. And then the last thing is that there is some more uncertainty with how far south the front will push by Monday. And then, of course, there's always some question with the late period discrepancy between the models. So there could be another disturbance pushing across the area Tuesday, but we're much more uncertain about that. Here's the current conditions. There's the satellite temperatures and winds. A very nice, kind of cool day out there, but again, it's hardly any clouds to be seen out there. I know that there's some fire weather concerns with prescribed burns, so we've been dealing with some of those forecasts recently. Otherwise, winds today mainly out of the east and southeast for central Georgia, and more south to southeast for the northern part of the state. If you want to see these saved weather conditions and observations, then please use that link near the top. So in the last week, we did have a system come across that had a lot of small hail with it and some lightning, but a lot of you saw about 1/4 of an inch to upwards of 1 inch of rainfall with it, so not a big rainfall maker, as is pretty much isolated scattered showers and storms with it. And then going into the following day, we had cooler but just more showery weather following that stronger system. Altogether, it doesn't do much with our departure from normal for past rainfall. The last 30 days, we're still about 2 to 3 inches below where we should be. And when you put that together, the drought summary has actually expanded the abnormally dry zone across pretty much all of central Georgia and parts of eastern North Georgia. And the Division 1, the moderate drought, as we put it, has expanded a little bit in parts of the far east. So the trend with this next system, of course, we're going to see how much rainfall we can get out of it. Doesn't look to be that heavy, but every little bit helps to try to keep the drought from coming. So this first part of the forecast, if there's any fire weather concerns, I've got the relative humidity and the winds here. What's mapped is the relative humidity, the minimum amounts for each afternoon today through Saturday. So today looks to be the lowest as far as RH goes. A lot of the areas around 20%, upwards of 25%. Friday, tomorrow is going to be slightly higher by about another 5%. And then Saturday also increases. The winds are going to be shifting more and more out of the south, so it brings in a little bit greater moisture off the Gulf. So the winds today, North Georgia, south to southeast 5 to 7. Central Georgia is a little bit shifted more east, but the same amount of magnitude. Friday, almost all the areas going to be south to southwest at about 5 to 10. And Saturday, ahead of that system that I'm talking about, the winds are going to increase to near 10 miles per hour. Altogether for the weekend, Saturday's high temperature is going to be very nice. A lot of the areas in the mid to upper 70s and partly to mostly cloudy. And Sunday is going to be when the front's moving across the rest of the area. So it's going to be lower temperatures in the north and, of course, wet and stormy conditions. So if you got any plans for the weekend, definitely Saturday would be the day to pick. Sunday, depending on the speed of the front, you could have some clearing out in parts of North Georgia by the afternoon. So I wouldn't say the whole day is a wash on Sunday, but it's still better temperatures if you've got outdoor plans for Saturday. So here's the put together for the next system. It's basically a cold front that's fairly strong that starts to approach the area. This screen picture was taken late Saturday night, so it's still approaching the area, and some of the storms could be pushing across parts of North Georgia at this time. But we could have some stronger storms. Some of the wind shear that allows for stronger storms is a bit higher going into the northwest for Saturday night, But then as that shifts across the southeast for later Sunday, we have a little bit better energy in the afternoon for this part of the state. So by the afternoon, it could be south and east of Atlanta. We're still not for sure on timing, but it could be ramping up in those parts of central Georgia. The wind shear would be less, but the energy would be greater. So that's why we're still saying stronger, possibly severe, could be during both periods. So overall, here's the chances of precip. Saturday night is the greatest in the north, but Sunday, I expect that as we get closer in the forecast, a lot of these chances will be increased. It's just been more uncertainty with the timing of the front. But then Sunday night, it should transition farther south and east. Now, beyond that, going into Monday, there is some more differences in the models with where the front actually stalls out. So Monday, it could end up moving a bit farther north, so you could see some increased chances in central Georgia. And possibly Tuesday, if there's another system that moves across it, it doesn't look to be as strong as what's going through late Saturday into Sunday, but your chances for rainfall could increase Monday into Tuesday, to just give you a heads up. As far as the total rainfall expected throughout mainly this weekend system, could see 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 an inch in parts of the north. Again, if there's stronger storms, they could easily dump a quick inch, but just the widespread rainfall is more of the 0.5 to 3/4 of an inch for central Georgia going into that period, which is good as far as where the drought conditions are. Maybe this will end up at least preventing it from spreading too much too quickly. So to wrap it up, I picked one of our cooler locations, Blairsville. Here's a 7-day forecast, and then Macon, one of the warmer spots throughout the trend of the next week. So you can see we've got a nice warm up going into Saturday, and then the increased chances of rainfall late Saturday through Sunday. Cooler temps behind that frontal system, and then the greatest uncertainty is really how much the chances of showers would increase Monday into Tuesday. So with that, again, here's a summary, and the slide should be online at this briefing page. And at this point, I'll go ahead and open up for questions.